you're asking the guy who already had him at his MLS Cup favorites, and I believe you had him going to MLS Cup. You know, I had him winning. Listen, I know they're struggling right now, and I think a lot of that has to do with the 9. Listen, they've got 7 goals in 5 games. By no means wow, but they need help at the 9 position because 5 of those goals came against Nashville. This is a team that's struggling to score goals. Mateus Bogusz, he's an attacking midfielder playing as a 9 right now. Clearly not his position. They're trying to rekindle some of what Carlos Vela gave him, that false 9. No Vela as of yet. So they need a player of that ability to help Denny Bouanga share that load, to help Denny Bouanga unlock himself even more. He debuted with a couple goals against Nashville. He looks to be back on track. And I know what people are going to say. Olivier Giroud's 37 years old. Like, what are you doing with a player like this? I can argue he's been Milan's best player this season. 12 goals, 8 assists. And listen, we brought this news up in Ahora Nunca earlier, and Mauricio Pedrosa brought up a very good point, and I couldn't believe he brought it up because it's so brilliant. He said,
shots fired.
Think about the most expansive player pool when it comes to national teams. Who's got the most material at hand? And I started thinking about it. It's probably France. They've got the most talented player pool out there, and yet this man at 37 years of age is still the starting 9 for France. Obviously a very, very talented striker who can still offer a lot at any capacity, let alone Major League Soccer's capacity or playing field. This is a great signing for Steve Cherundolo, a great signing for John Thornton, who's knocked it out the park again. If it comes to fruition, not only does it make them, again, MLS Cup favorites, but I think it puts LA Galaxy on notice right now as well. The Galaxy have got a very good season going on right now. What they cannot afford is to lose a foothold of what they got right now. They can't afford to have the reflectors, the eyeballs, turn over to the neighbor once again.
Let me ask you this. What happens if Olivier Giroud at 37, 38 years old comes to LAFC and, as we expect, based on what he's doing at AC Milan, lights up the league? What does that do for the retirement league talk? What does that do for the retirement league image? Because you know, here in the United States, people might see the nuance and say, well, he did it in Serie A, he's doing it in Major League Soccer. It's not a knock on MLS. But you know internationally, if an almost 40-year-old comes here and lights up the league, it ain't going to look good.
Yeah, listen, a 40-year-old, almost 40-year-old's lighting up the Serie A, and another almost 40-year-old, after lighting up Major League Soccer, lit up the Serie A as well in Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It is what it is. Those who think it's a retirement league, there is no way of swaying that. The nuance you talk about does not exist, so you can show the signings of the young players and whatnot. Nobody cares. That's not what they want to focus on when they talk about Major League Soccer. They're going to focus on retirement league, and that's fine. I think Major League Soccer at some point just has to embrace this, that it's a destination league for some, and some of those players are older. But as long as they're quality players, any team in the world would be, or the majority of teams in the world would be, very happy with a striker like Olivier Giroud. So that retirement image, there's no shedding that, Seb. I think anybody who tries to convince you that MLS can shed that, that's not going to happen, at least not right now.
Yeah. All right. I think Inter Miami are still the favorites. However, I will leave that with a caveat. I believe LAFC has another designated player spot even after they were to sign Giroud. You mentioned the guys in charge there at LAFC. They do good work, and it's also Los Angeles. So if they had another major big-name DP or even just a significant piece to help fill out that roster come the summer, then they might be MLS Cup favorites. And I think they could very well do that. But right now, I'm going to stick with Inter Miami, Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez.